Hello, Tony.
Hello,
Hello.
Tony.
There she is, the lovely Bessie Carter and the equally lovely James Purefoy.
Oh,
How you guys doing?
oh, stop it, sugar lips.
Oh,
Come
thank you.
now.
I haven't been called that since high school. Um, First of all, congratulations on Outrageous. What a wonderful series this is, and it gets so wonderfully complicated. And I'm going to start with Bessie. Tell me a little bit about Nancy and putting on her skin, so to speak.
I loved playing Nancy Mitford. This was the best job of my life. I thought it was so clever how our writer, Sarah Williams, made Nancy the storyteller, because Nancy was a writer. She was an author who, wrote many books, most famously The Pursuit of Love, probably. But she very much is the narrator of this story of her six sisters, and the sort of the lives that they set out to lead. And we watch them sort of take their first steps. But for Nancy, I just, I tried to find the similarities between me and her. Shockingly quite similar to her. Don't really want to go into
Sorry, I'm laughing.
that. Yeah. But she was just a force of nature. She was confident whilst being vulnerable. She was funny. She was intelligent. She was, what a blessing of a part. And the scripts were just amazing. I mean, everyone got to sink their teeth into sort of nuanced characters rather than just stereotypes. So it was great.
James, you've played so many different characters in your career, and uh, David is just so different from anything you've played. It's rare to find something that surprises us.
Yeah, I mean, I think you just, as an actor, as an artist of any kind, you always run into a danger of starting to repeat and regurgitate what you've done earlier in your career. So when you get a part like this, you go, "Oh yes, I'll definitely take that," because he's unlike anybody I've ever played. And to inhabit his skin was such a joy because he's so three-dimensional. He's such a textured man. Yes, he's awful in many, many ways. He's a xenophobe. He's a misanthrope. He's a misogynist. All of these things. He doesn't want to send any of his girls to school because he didn't think that women should go to school. But he's also got a heart the size of Texas. He really loves his children. And I think you constantly see this little fight going on with him where they're saying and doing the most appalling things, but he really cares about them. So in his own fuddy-duddy, strange, repressed English upper class way, but I think you see it coming through and out through the cracks in him. So it was a great privilege to play him. So yeah, I loved it.
Bessie, with you playing roles like in Bridgerton and everything else you've done, you always bring to the character, I think, a rare and wonderful wisp of humor. And it's such a lovely talent you have.
Thank you.
It's an annoying talent because she really can, literally just with the flick of an eyebrow, crack you up on screen because you know exactly what she's thinking. And she is a remarkable screen actress in that way. It's lovely to watch.
I just slipped him a tenner.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
20
good.
actually. Yeah.
So talk to me about, is that just a natural gift you have?
Well, I mean, it's in the writing. I try to be really true to the writing, and I suppose I felt very lucky to play Nancy because I've played a lot of horrible people. Actually, I've played a lot of mean, snobby people, and so for Nancy, I mean, one of her most famous traits is that she's funny. So I think with Prudence, Prudence was mean, but I did add some comedy because I wanted to, and they said okay. And then with Nancy, it was written in. I mean, she was famously very funny. She would dress up as like mad aunts and try to trick her sisters that she was this like 50-year-old aunt and just like ring their doorbell and see if they fell for it. But she was a trickster, and I was glad to be able to use that side of my acting, I suppose, to portray that.
James, as people discover Outrageous, and by the way, I discovered it, now I'm hooked. What do you think they'll take away from watching the series?
Oh, I think if somebody was talking about why this show now? Why have we not seen a TV show about the Mitfords? Because it's so eminently filmable and watchable. Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't that have happened already? And I said, I remember saying the other day, I think the time makes the show bubble up. So where we are now is such an interesting and perplexing time. I think for a lot of people, politics is very polarized.
Mm.
People are falling out over politics. Family members are falling out with family members. And that happens in this show.
Mm.
And it happens in this show in the 1930s, where we didn't know where fascism was taking us. We didn't know that the logical conclusion of fascism is the wholesale industrial slaughter of millions of people.
Yeah.
Nowadays, we have the benefit of hindsight. We know where that language, that iconography, those speeches, those words, which we all know where they get those words from, we should beware of dancing with that devil. We should really beware of putting your head in that tiger's mouth, because it'll bite it off as soon as look at you.
I mean, we know the words, but the meaning behind the words has somehow, eluded us.
Yeah, for sure. And I think sometimes you need a piece of television or a piece of theater. It's very hard for us sometimes to see the wood for the trees, isn't it?
Yeah.
But by looking through the lens of us now, through the lens of then, you suddenly go, oh my goodness me, that really is remarkably similar to where we are now.
Bessie, how about you? What do you think audiences will take away from watching the series?
Well, I suppose it's to question how do you carry on loving a family member when you despise their politics? And that's the main love story really in the series, is that of Nancy and Diana. And you sort of you see their relationship evolve, and you see, cracks begin to show. And so I suppose it's asking audiences, can we speak with each other with peace, with kindness, with empathy, rather than butt heads and cancel? Yeah.
Before I go, I want to comment on the costumes. Boy, James, you look great. In
I know, but
1930s.
one of the things about what she did was so clever, Claire, our costume designer, was she didn't make costumes, she made clothes.
Yeah.
Actors wear costumes, people wear clothes, and she recognized very quickly that this is a show about people. And so it's very individualistic, and there is such authenticity, and it would not surprise me if 1930s English clothing suddenly has a moment after this show, because they're beautiful, the clothes in the show.
Yeah, and Bessie, wow, you look fantastic in some of the clothing that they picked for you.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, they made some of the clothes, so they copied them from like vintage originals. But we sort of found, Nancy loves a pencil skirt for some reason. I just suddenly was wearing and I loved the pencil skirt. It was great. I loved wearing those sorts of things. And the wig, I had a great little wig, that little bob. Everyone looked amazing, and everyone was so individual. Everyone had their sort of look, and it was completely believable that they were all from one family. So hats off to Claire Collins.
And hats off to the series and everybody who's associated with it. It's so beautifully filmed and done. And you guys just are shining in this. And thank you for your time this morning.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much for having us. It's been a real pleasure being on your show. Thank you.
Thank you, and have a great day.